Oh no, is this fucking rage bait? Oh yeah.
So I am speaking from the perspective, I grew up in a very far left family. I was super woke my entire life, so much so that in 2020 I was cast to be on a Netflix show teaching people how to become a BLM activist. In the process getting ready for that show, I started.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, he's like, I've been a grifter and I'm still a grifter. I'm just grifting in a different direction because I saw that there was more money to be made. Okay. I saw more money to be made, and I'm a failed actor.
Started studying the counter arguments, and it completely flipped my perspective of being black in America. And I really,
dude, this is like Aiden Ross levels of stupidity. Like Aiden Ross having like Holocaust deniers on to convince him as a Jewish man to believe that the Holocaust might not have happened is like that level of stupidity to be like, yeah, as a black man, like I really got owned in the marketplace of ideas, and it just totally made me reconsider all of the experiences that I've had in the United States of America. That's awesome.
Realized being black in America is a very easy life. So I would love to speak on this topic. It's what I do for a living. So I don't believe that we have a systemic racism issue in America anymore. I feel like we have a systemic disempowerment issue. And what I mean by that is really two things. First, let's start with the rhetoric that is put on black people. So you and I disagree on pretty much everything political.
Dog, you know this dude is this motherfucker. Uncle Tom's favorite nephew. Ew. Ew, dude. What the fuck? What? Ew, dude. Ew. Why do professional black Republicans always do this? Like, escape the plantation, Uncle Tom's favorite nephew. Is like, why are you adopting white supremacist framing and white supremacist language voluntarily to describe yourself? It's so weird, dude. Yeah, I mean, he's a PragerU guy, so of course.
Me, as a black conservative, I'm called an Uncle Tom and a sellout. And it makes you just sit and wonder, who is it that I'm being sold out from? This belief system that we have to have this unapologetic, unwavering.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Both parties are pretty fucking racist. It's just that one party at least like politely says that there is some underlying racism and maybe we should fix it. They don't really do anything about it. The other party's like, hell yeah, we're racist and we love racism. We want to do more racism. Yes, everyone that's not white is inferior to me and to you. That's it. That's literally it. And I think this is a reality that most black people also understand. It's just like, it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't type of situation. Like, that's it.
Loving what the Democrats tell us to believe is an issue. And it goes into the BLM thing and how for so long we were taught that we were supposed to be terrified of police officers who are literally the people who are supposed to be protecting us. The other part of that is when we start looking at what is actually hurting us on a systemic level. Let's look at policy. One of the biggest things that are hurting black Americans today is policy regarding crime. We have all of these woke DAs who are putting forth policy about
He said, we need more Klansmen as DAs, okay? Can we go back to a better time when lynchings were happening? This is what I like as a black man. Also, there's no real racism in America. My man said woke DAs, dude. What are you saying?
About like, or getting rid of policies, I should say, with like the 3 strikes rule, which is allowing repeat offenders on the street. We got.
Oh my God. Dude, oh my God. He said we need to repeal the 3 strikes rule. Or like he said repealing the 3 strikes rule is a bad thing. Sorry. Yeah, we need more mass incarceration. Why are you always doing too much with black people? Leave them alone. I want to go back to lynching. Like, I get it, but fucking relax. Man, shut the fuck up, okay? God damn. Yes, dude. It's because I'm racist. That's why. It's because I'm fucking racist, dude. You got me. Okay, you got me because I'm a fucking racist person. Like, there's a line, okay, when talking about or to black conservatives. I do not cross that line, okay? I might come near that line, but I do not cross that line. So shut the fuck up. I understand the boundaries, okay? One thing I've noticed is Hasan definitely doesn't like criticism. I don't like that. Do you have no capacity to analyze what just unfolded in front of your eyes and you just respond to shapes and colors? Is that what's going on? Yes, dude. A cynical radlib framework that chatter was operating off of is unimaginably annoying. You think I don't encounter that on a daily basis a million times over, in especially progressive spaces like the one that I've cultivated here? Shut the fuck up. That's not criticism. Someone saying you're doing too much on black issues is not like real criticism, okay? What the fuck do you mean? Especially when I'm in the process of describing systemic racism. It's so stupid. People have no way of like analyzing what just unfolded, okay?
I don't understand how you can have these positions that there is no racial disparities and that these things weren't set up against us when there is so much going against us in this country. I would say, as a woman who has experienced police violence, I was pregnant when I experienced police violence. I told them I was pregnant and they still mishandled me. They did not see me as a citizen. They did not see me as somebody to serve and protect. And by the way, there is no constitutional basis for serve and protect. They are not constitutionally obligated to serve and protect you. I just want to tell you this. I told them I was pregnant and they still mishandled me. They didn't see me as somebody to protect. They saw me as a... That's what they saw.
So a lot to unpack with that, and I'm truly sorry that happened to you. I think one thing to start with the middle ground that we can agree on is that, or two things.
He's gonna say there's bad apples in the police force.
Really, is that there is still racial tension. Now, if that's a systemic thing, I wouldn't say. Are you going to encounter racist people? Absolutely. Are you going to encounter racist people in positions of power? Unfortunately, absolutely. That's a very real thing, and I do think when it comes to the criminal justice system, even black conservatives, look at the Blexit movement. One of the biggest things that the Blexit movement...
The Blexit movement. Come on, dude. Yeah. Look at our jobs program. Like, come on, dude. The Blexit movement. Look at black conservatives. A whopping 8%. It's crazy, okay? There's dozens of us. You understand? There's dozens of us, and every single one of us has been hired by a Republican think tank. It's weird. The only thing they keep asking of me is to keep saying, as a black man, I know what racism looks like, and insert whichever political figure on the Republican side has been accused of being a heinous white supremacist charlatan is not a racist. Please look at CPAC. Look at the RNC. One, there's never been, at least in contemporary society, not in the past, but post-party swap, post-Southern strategy, there's never been a fucking black congressional representative on the Republican Party that has not come from a majority white district. Black people do not vote for black Republicans. Okay, that's number one. Is that surprising? I don't know. Let's think about it. Interesting. I wonder why. Okay, that's number one. Number two, go and watch CPAC videos. Go and watch videos from the RNC. Go and watch videos from any number of Republican conferences. Okay, they live stream them. Pay attention closely to what the black speakers talk about, okay? White speakers talk about a litany of different things that the Republican Party is doing really well. Black speakers are specifically put there to talk about how the Republican Party and the Republican platform is not racist. That's all they got. That's all they do. One must ask the question, why?
Which stands for Black Exit, exiting the left, is criminal justice reform. So with that being said, I empathize with what you're saying, and I understand your perspective there. But that being said, when it comes to systemic racism, that would infer that there's this whole system that is holding you down because you're a black woman.
But there is.
But here's the thing, is there's not. There's over 2 million black millionaires in America. Black women are outpacing in education in so many different metrics compared to every single demographic. I mean, just look at yourself. I mean, just hearing you, you sound very educated. You can't have all of these different success and be self-made in a country that is oppressive to you because of your skin color. We've seen what that looks like in the past, and that is just not the situation that we're in anymore. Because as I look at you as a black woman, there is not a single thing that this white man, no shade, can do that you can't do. You are capable.
I would like to disagree with you, because I think that all throughout American history, we have had black people, we have had indigenous people, we have Chicano people, we have people of all races and colors that have beat the odds, but that does not mean that those odds are not there. there. That does not mean that those lives are not there. A lot of people on the conservative side like to say, like, oh, well, you have all the same legal rights and responsibilities that I have. There's no law against you as a black person.
Correct.
The law is not an entity in and of itself. Law is a social construct. We enact laws in everything that we do every day of our life.
She's great.
And the way that people enact laws is what affects these disparities, what allows black men to be imprisoned for the same drugs that white men are doing, what allows black women to be dying on operating tables, giving the same birth to the same babies that white women are giving. And so I think that if we're talking about America in and of itself, why are we having these discussions about Ahmaud Arbery? Why are we having these discussions about Breonna Taylor? Why are we having these discussions about Frank Tyson, who was killed in my hometown because they kneeled on his chest? He was dying and he begged them to help him and they said, shut the F up. And he died there under their knee.
So a couple quick things with that. So with some of the issues you were talking about, such as black women dying on the operating table, unfortunately what that is, that's a socioeconomic issue. And I feel like what a lot of people attribute to being an issue that has
That's a socioeconomic issue? Okay. Why are black people underserved on average in comparison to their white counterparts? Why is it that the black son of a black middle-class family has less job opportunities, even if they have the same exact fucking educational attainment of a comparable white son of a white middle-class family? You can't just say, oh, that's a socioeconomic issue, while simultaneously saying systemic racism is not real. Also, the issue in terms of like black women dying during childbirth is it transcends class boundaries. Like his argument is not only wrong, but even if his argument was correct, his counter was correct. Oh, it's like a money problem. That still does not undercut the main premise here that like systemic racism is still a problem. You can't just like wash that away by saying it's socioeconomic. It's very simple. Okay. Either you believe that there are intrinsic qualities to black people that cause them to be in the positions that they are right now, which means that you believe that they are inferior genetically, like something that black people have that causes them to be in the position that they're in right now, or you believe that there are external qualities, which is systemic racism. That's it. People can masquerade and say, oh, it's just culture. Oh, it's just this or that. But like ultimately, black culture is all American culture. Okay. It is the #1 cultural product that Americans consume and Americans export. There are more white people in this country and therefore more white people listen to rap music, for example. So even when you say black culture, what you're actually trying to substitute is that black people, I guess, like react to black culture differently than white people. There has to be something that is wrong with black people then. That is the reason why a lot of these people that say like, oh, it's just black culture, it's not the black race, are just racists that are embarrassed and are trying to hide the underlying racist sentiment. Dumb take. This is wrong. Dumb take. Why can't you guys, why are you physically incapable of just addressing what is wrong about it instead of just being like, this is wrong and dumb? I will not elaborate further. Rage baited. Okay, good. Take a day off.
To do with systemic racism is really socioeconomic, because you don't see wealthier black people having those issues at the same rate. If it was a systemic racism issue, it would have to do with race, not to do with wealth. And then when we look at situations like some of the names you said, let's start with Breonna Taylor. The way that the media lies to black people to gaslight us into thinking that we need to be terrified of police officers is absolutely unacceptable. If you really look into the tea that happened with Breonna Taylor, we were lied about. They lied to us about that whole situation. Breonna Taylor.
Are you talking about the Tatum report? That one.
I'm talking about all of it. I'm talking about the whole system. I don't need to look at what Brandon Tatum has to say about it, but I think he had a lot of intelligence things to say about it. Because if you go and you look at the actual facts of what happened with Breonna Taylor, she was knee deep in that criminal investigation. That being said, with the—
What? Bro, what the f— that is just a lie, dude. What the f— that is an insane lie. Also, here's the other part. Here's the other role that black conservative spokesmen play as they put a black face on white supremacy, okay? That is to get away with shit that, like, racist white people would not be able to get away with saying. It is, once again, creating a permission structure for racist white people to feel more comfortable because they're like, see, a black person agrees with me. Candace Owens does this as well. It's really fucked up.
The reason I bring that up, because I'm not saying that her dying was something that should have happened. However, you can't ignore that her boyfriend shot first. You can't ignore that they were at the right house. When I first heard
Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired first when police broke the door off the hinges. The bullet hit an officer in the thigh. He later told police he thought Taylor's ex-boyfriend was attempting to break in. Officers returned fire, including one officer who was fired 10 rounds blindly into the apartment. Yeah. In the middle of the night, when someone is breaking into your apartment and you fucking shoot at them, it's, you know, it's your understandable position. You have a right to defend yourself. Fucking no-knock warrant on a wrong house, too.
heard about Breonna Taylor, back then I was a BLM activist. I was out there marching for Breonna Taylor, literally, because I thought that this black woman was minding her business, laying in her bed, and a police officer came and shot her in the window.
Okay, but
that
you
is
have
not what
homeowners'
happened.
rights. If we're talking about guns, you as a homeowner, you do not know who is entering your home. You have the right to shoot.
They announced.
No, they didn't, because
Yes,
there's
they
actually
did.
3 different neighbors who each contested that they did not announce themselves. But if I'm being honest, it's not even just socioeconomic, because they did the same study with black women and white women of the same socioeconomic stature, and black women still died more. Yes. Why are we poor? Because this country was.
Why do I think he's lying? It's because he is lying. He's just straight up lying. He's a straight up white supremacist. You cannot be a conservative commentator, especially as a black person, without fulfilling a very specific role. That role is straight up justifying white supremacy and white supremacist talking points on a regular basis. That is what you're there to do. That's it.
Set up to make us poor, because we were given a culture of desperation that makes us poor, because we were set down hundreds of years down the line. We do not have the education we need. We do not have the reparations we need. We do not have everything we need to thrive and to strive. They killed our leaders. They killed Martin Luther.
Wrong house. What news you reading? Wrong house, as in the supposed quote unquote investigation that they conducted to be able to get a fucking search warrant, to get a no-knock warrant, was not justifiable at all. That Breonna Taylor was not even remotely involved. The fuck are you talking about? Breonna Taylor's a nurse, dude. Fact check. Separating the truth from the lies in the Breonna Taylor police shooting. The facts. What happened at Breonna Taylor's apartment. Claim police were at the wrong apartment. Various Facebook and Twitter posts claimed that Louisville police went to the wrong apartment the night of Taylor's death when they served the search warrant. Ben Crump, a Florida attorney involved in the Taylor case, wrote on Twitter, police had the wrong address and their real suspect was already in custody. The Courier-Journal obtained copies of the 5 search warrants the Louisville police received authorization as a part of the narcotics investigation. Wait, this is correct. What are you talking about? 1 was Taylor's apartment. 3 were in the Russell neighborhood for adjacent homes on Elliott Avenue, and 1 was for the house of West Muhammad Ali Boulevard. The Muhammad Ali Boulevard was not executed. The search warrant for Taylor's home includes her street address, apartment number, and photos of her apartment. Yeah, they still went to the wrong house. What are you talking about? Unless you think that Breonna Taylor is not a nurse, but instead a fucking drug dealer, then yeah, they went to the wrong house, dumbass. What do you mean? Your fact check, hello? R rating false. The search warrant for Taylor and her home explicitly identified her and her address. Yeah, the Louisville police was not by. Did you not read? This does not. The argument is not whether or not the police had a warrant to go to Breonna Taylor's house, you fucking idiot. They did. The point is that she is not a drug dealer. They believe Taylor had ties to Glover, one of the main suspects in the investigation. However, the search warrant they used to enter her home contained erroneous information that Taylor was receiving suspicious packages tied. Do you guys just like Google fact check Breonna Taylor and then just like post it in here? You said wrong house. You said wrong house. Not unreasonable. I don't understand your point. The fucking fact check that you sent me literally proves what I'm saying. They went to the wrong house, as in not that they didn't have a search warrant for that house. They went to the wrong house because there were no drugs there. Breonna Taylor was not involved in this fucking drug case. The detective literally lost their job for claiming that that was the case. What the fuck are you talking about? The article itself literally proves that. Are you okay? Like, when I say they went to the wrong house, okay, I thought you meant the wrong house as it wasn't the right people. No, that is what I'm saying. It wasn't the right person. Breonna Taylor was not the right person. What are you saying? Do you have a hard time with reading comprehension? Because the same article that you sent me that says this was false literally proves the point that I'm making. Nah, they're just taking you out of context on purpose. They know what you mean, but are going off of your exact words was a gotcha. It's really a mystery how you, of all people, have the dumbest shadows of all time. The reason for that is because a lot of people want to feel smart, or at the very least, they come in here because they want to debate this kind of stuff. That's why they come in here.
King. They killed.
Who's they?
I'm talking about the CIA, the FBI, the American government.
Oh, that's T. That's T. I actually have a middle ground thing that she just said.
So let's let Connie start and then you respond. Okay. What's a middle ground you want to offer between the two of you?
I think I would agree with you that the Black community and many communities of color are currently suffering a crisis.
No, don't agree with anything.
With you on is that Black people were essentially set up to fail in this country, but the thing is, if we're really going to get into it, who set us up to fail? The Democratic Party. I mean, if we look at everything just from the welfare system, are you familiar with the whole origin of that? And then a lot of people try to say, oh, they switched sides. No, they didn't. That is a myth. But when you look at the welfare system, it was set up to keep us poor.
I'm not hearing any overlap.
I heard a lot.
Okay, let's give you one more chance.
We need to give our communities of color more tools to thrive in this country.
I think we need to give all Americans more tools to thrive in this country.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, see, this is the problem with liberalism in general. Not saying that Connie is a liberal. I don't think she is, because she said a bunch of stuff that I don't think is in line with like liberalism. But I do think that this is the problem with this sort of rhetoric and how right-wingers dominate this shit.
And I think that we've already given Black Americans so many. I mean, just look at affirmative action and DEI, but no one wants to have that conversation.
Affirmative action actually benefits white women the most.
Oh, I've seen. Trust me, I know. But it's still helping Black people, too, because you can see Black people.
He's like, I mean, that he's just revealing his perspective. He's like, I wouldn't mind if it helped white women, but I hate that it helps Black people.
Who should not be in the colleges that they're in, they're there. To find a middle ground with you, I do think that there is still more progress to always be made in our country when it comes to healing racial relations. I don't think that we need to do things that are too artificial to get there. I don't think we need to give anyone special treatment. However, I think we need to put more tools and resources in the communities that need it most.
I would just have to disagree with that prompt. I don't think it's special treatment when white people have had special treatment in this country for over 200 years. I'm sorry, you can scoff all you want, but it's the truth. And you know it's the truth, so I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're going to put a pin in it. It's basically, I feel like we heard.
Something that I've mentioned before is that like the previous historic wrongs committed were dished out on the basis of your skin color. You cannot offer restitution to that without addressing that problem, okay? It's very weird when people try to be like, no, you don't understand. Like, it's just, why not everybody? It's like, first of all, he does not want that to happen for everybody because he's a Republican, okay? He doesn't want that to happen at all. It's a classic Republican deflection to be like, oh, well, what about, what about homeless veterans? Anytime that anybody tries to talk about immigrants, they're like, oh, what about homeless veterans? It's like, you don't care about homeless veterans. You don't care about homeless people at all. Okay? You don't. Shut the fuck up. You're just using that as a talking point to deflect away from the main point of contention here.